And just like clockwork, every single year around this time, I can start to feel my body shifting. I can start to feel my energy level decreasing and my mood not like it was in the spring, where everything was becoming more awake and alive and all the plants and all the things, but I can start to feel my body start to slow down. And as the time starts to fall back, I want to share just a few of the simple things that I do to help support myself through this change, through this shift. And I'm hoping that anything that I offer can help maybe possibly one of you, especially if you are like me. Now, don't get me wrong, I very much enjoy the slow down of what fall and winter have to offer. But there's about 2 weeks where I'm just kind of like, where are we? What day of the week is this? So yeah, what's going on, friends? My name is Kaylee and welcome to the Honeystead. I hope this helps you, because it was actually a good reminder that, oh yeah, I actually need to do this for myself, because the change does kind of hit, and sometimes it hits a little bit hard. And I do want to say a special thanks to Birch Living for sponsoring this video. Now, I've had our Birch mattress for probably a good solid, I think we are going on 3 years at this point, and my husband and I have not been happier. Now, Birch Living makes an organic mattress that's been handcrafted from organic material like wool and organic cotton and organic latex, and it's free from any fiberglass or any polyurethane foams that could potentially off-gas. Now, that was one of my big things, and it's been part of my health journey for many years, as I was really struggling with my sleep. And I found that it was my mattress that was causing many of my unhealthy and uncomfortable sleeping habits, which resulted in me not being at my optimum best throughout the day. I mean, we spend the majority of our time in bed, and when we sleep, that is when our body is able to reset. Now, this time of year, I feel like I'm spending a little bit more time in my bed than what I am in the spring, just because it's getting darker a little bit earlier. Part of me is sometimes excited that it's almost bedtime so I can jump in bed and, yeah, find a good book or snuggle up with my covers and a good cup of tea. So I guess that is one good thing about it getting darker a little bit earlier. But no matter what type of sleeping position you prefer, Birch Living created their mattress to really benefit any sleeping position. Side, belly, back, side belly-ish. And I'm definitely waking up with a lot less aches and a lot less pains. And one of the best feelings in the world is having a full night's rest. And because I love my Birch mattress so much, they're offering a fall savings event where you can save 20% off their site-wide from now until October 30th. All you have to do is scan the QR code or visit the link that's pinned in the description and in the very first comment. Let's go pour a cup of tea, and then I'm going to share with you some of the other things that I do to support my body through this change, the change in the season, the change in the time, change in general. So let's talk about what you feel physically when it comes to changing the time change. One of the two big ones that I recognize quite often is just energy and mood. Those are two big ones. So some of the things that I do to help support that. One is getting a full night's rest, and that's why I talk about my mattress. I very much love my mattress, and that was a huge part of my overall protocol. But let me see if this will cool down enough. Oh, that was so good. Yes. So, energy and mood. There are a few different herbs that I use for both. One of them, and by far my absolute favorite thing that I do, is my Be Attuned mushroom blend. Now, I've shared, we are coming up on the year launch of our Be Attuned blend, so keep an eye out. I've got some cool things in the works, and I've got some freebies that I'm going to be giving away. So if you follow along on my website, I will definitely be sharing that. And then I think in the next video, we're going to go a little bit more in depth on that. Two big components that are in that mushroom blend that really help when it comes to mood and energy. First off, 100% cordyceps mushrooms. That is my jam. I love cordyceps. It allows me to have kind of that boost without that crash. Now, I mix mine in my coffee, but you can also do a couple of the recipes, and I'm going to be sharing more with you. But I make energy protein balls. Gosh, there are so many. But cordyceps for energy has been extremely helpful. And the other one I do quite love, just for my cognitive, ability, is lion's mane. Now, lion's mane is also in our Be Attuned mushroom blend. It's all organic, all fruiting body, no mycelium, 100% gluten-free, lab tested multiple times, all that good stuff. But lion's mane is very much one of my favorite. And the other day I did some foraging and I found 3 beautiful lion's mane mushrooms, and I brought it back in here and I started the dual extraction process, which that means you're extracting not only the alcohol soluble properties in a mushroom, but also the water soluble properties. So I started it as a decoction, decocted it down for a good little bit, and now I have it sitting in the refrigerator with an alcohol pulled on, and it's in the extracting process. We're going to go strain that out. It needs probably, I think, 3 more weeks until it's done, but I will hopefully be able to wrap all of that up in one video to show you how to create a tincture using the dual extraction method with one of the mushrooms that I found here on our property. But lion's mane is great for the cognitive, and it helps me stay focused on the tasks that I have. So cordyceps and lion's mane, mushroom wise, those are my jam. I really wanted to talk more about mushrooms because they are wonderful adaptogens, and adaptogens basically help balance your body for change in season. But looking back over the years and seeing how I was before I used herbs and lifestyle and food, I struggled a lot more than what I have now. So even though I know I'm a work in progress, as we all are, we're still going to experience change no matter what. And really what change does for our body is sometimes they put our body into a different type of stress, which when we are stressed out, that is when we are susceptible towards getting sick. And when I used to get sick, I would be down for weeks, in all honesty. It would be, 2 weeks of getting sick, feeling sick, and then almost a whole week to recover. And so if any of you guys ever experience that, now all I can say is, like, I hope, I know how that feels, and there is hope, because I was there. And yeah, I was adrenally fatigued. I was done. And so for me, talking about these mushrooms and talking about the herbs, like, it's genuinely something that I'm like, gosh, I wish more and more people could just know that, like, hey, we have been given absolutely everything we need to support ourselves. It's just up to us to do it. Even though I know that the change in season is coming, it's nowhere near how I'm nowhere near experiencing it like I was 10 years ago. But there are other herbs as well. And one of them that I grow quite often is holy basil. Holy basil is another wonderful adaptogen. It's not only fragrant, it is so delicious. And I really love it in the majority of my tea blends. So using adaptogens, using herbs that promote homeostasis and mushrooms will help with that change of season, whether it's time change of season, whether it's you're experiencing the stress of holidays. All of those kind of take into consideration and really do affect your overall health, whether you realize it or not. So definitely mood and energy. Love my mushrooms, love my adaptogens. Another one that I really enjoy when I need just a little bit of lift in my mood is lemon balm. Now, that one smells so good. I wish you guys could smell this. And I grow a good bit of lemon balm here on our farm, and I swear I use it in so many different recipes, but I do love it in a tea. Lemon balm is really uplifting, and it helps kind of, I don't know, just put a smile on my face. It also is really calming and really relaxing. So this one I don't necessarily like during my morning. I would maybe do this one more in the evening, and I would mix other herbs that are calming into it, like your chamomile or your linden. Those definitely are very relaxing, especially for sleep, which getting on a good evening nighttime routine, and I've shared in the past throughout many videos, is as adults, sometimes we're not the greatest on setting a good, healthy nighttime routine like we may have been for our littles. We're really good at putting ourselves last. So setting a routine, setting a plan, like what does your evening look like? Do you wind down? How does that look? Some of my favorite things to do is I will clean up from dinner and I try to go back outside. Now, lately, it's getting darker earlier, so I'm spending more time outside before dinner, and I'm not really getting that routine where I was. Like, I'm not going back outside after that unless I forget to put my chickens up, which I guess, nighttime walk. In fact, actually, on my last video, I shared about how I pretty much rolled down the hill on my nighttime walk, which, update on my foot, totally fine pretty much the next day after the comfrey, and I was able to be up on my feet all weekend long. So thank you for that, and if you're interested in that, I'll put that video above. But us having that nighttime routine, I think, is really healthy. And so trying to just kind of figure out your schedule. Lately, I've been cooking a lot more dishes, a lot more dinners that don't necessarily require me to be standing there at the stove. I take my cast iron and I fill it up with, my herbs and my chicken and my rooted vegetables, and I kind of just put it in the oven and I walk away, and that allows me to get a little bit more time outside. So for me, dinner, cleaning up from dinner, spending time with my family, starting a bath, lighting a candle, pouring a cup of tea, those are all the things that I'm starting to do a little bit more as this season starts to change. St. John's wort is one that we grow here around the property. This is another really good one for lifting your mood. It's actually kind of one of those herbs that I would say actually just like lemon balm, or I'm going to put this blank statement out just like I do with everything. Any herb that I talk about, it's always important to do your own research. Make sure that this herb is right for you, because herbs like St. John's wort, although it's intended for good, could have a not so great effect, especially if anybody is using any type of pharmaceutical for the mood, like any antidepressants. The same goes for lemon. Lemon balm might not be one for you if you have some thyroid conditions. And I do feel that when you start to do your own research about each herb, and this is why I really love saying this, it is only going to make you a better herbalist. And I just want to share that, because I think a lot of us, we get to this point where it's like, what's my quick fix? And this, I think, is a really good example to explain that not everything is a quick fix. And sometimes we just need to give ourselves a little bit of grace and a little bit of patience. You know, for me, season changing, what are the things that I do? It's more than just a herb. It's more than just one thing. I'm eating what the season has to offer. I'm getting outside as much as possible. I'm waking up early. I'm watching the sunrise. I'm taking a walk. I'm getting my stuff done. But I do very much still use herbs. So this is the holistic approach. It's all of it. But St. John's wort is one that really does help lift the mood, and actually has a lot of literature specifically for antidepressant, being an antidepressant. I shared in the past that they used to make wine in the summer with the flowers, and they over the months they would let the St. John's wort wine age, and by the winter months, when you were experiencing the seasonal blues or sad disorder, that's when they would crack open that bottle of wine and they would enjoy it. And I'm like, these are the things that I'm like, wow, you know, how cool is this? I have yet to make wine from St. John's wort. One day I will. I have it on my list of the many things that I want to do. But what I can do is I can put it in a tea, and I can mix it with herbs that also help my heart. There are many, and I have a video that I share that I'll put above that you can watch. But I would pair this one with a little bit of motherwort or a little bit of hawthorn, definitely some rose. I'm enjoying a rose hip infused honey that I made up. Along with all of these, another really important thing to consider is drinking enough fluids, drinking enough water. And there's something about a good tea during the middle of the day. All of this combined, using mushrooms, using herbs, getting good stuff from the food, getting outside, getting enough fluid in me. But all of this combined, the other huge aspect is getting into your community, getting into a place where you can conversate and you can share and you can, I don't know, just keep going, I think is really helpful. And for homemakers like myself, sometimes it can be a little bit hard to get out there and to have that community space. A lot of my friends live all over the world, so we try to do check-ins. I try to make it a point to schedule a phone call when I'm cleaning or outside taking care of my animals. So I do encourage you to do that as well. I encourage you to find community, and also other things that I like to do this time of year is to kind of I keep studying, I take a class or try something new. That is also something that I really love to do this time of year, when the garden doesn't need me as much and everything is kind of started to slow down. And if you're looking for an online community that defines just that, that is something that my friend Jill and I created, and we put it out there. It's called the Willow Hive, and it's on my website. I feel like that has been just a fun place to get to really see what everybody's up to and share what they're making, whether it's whole food from scratch, or intentional remedies, or just living rhythmically within the season. And then, of course, the whole detoxifying and nourishing your home. That is a space that her and I wanted to offer, and it's here. We put it together, and I actually really like it. So her and I are putting out private videos once a month. She's doing one, I'm doing one. We're sharing a lot of our favorite recipes, and then we are also scheduling a live chats where we can just have good, fun conversation and answer a lot of the questions that many of you may have. Now, our membership is more than just a membership. That is something I wanted to also share. We took all of our online courses. I took the Home Apothecary course that we put out a couple years back, and then we also have a fermenting course on there. We have the sourdough course on there. We are adding more courses that will be added on there as well. But that is a space that I invite each and every one of you to hop on and possibly join and be a part of it. I love YouTube and I love sharing. I will continue to share, but this space kind of allows me to share a little bit more in depth. So I'm going to be kind of going into detail about specific protocols, things that I can't necessarily share here. But I wanted to open it up and offer that because who knows, it might help somebody. But as always, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and learn something old. Bye, guys.